This is a presentation of examples in which the AI generator, used by Integer Entertainment in its film trailers and features, proved incapable of doing what the director asked of it. Or sometimes, the AI generator simply refused to do what the director asked of it. It may have been due to censorship, or the inability or unwillingness to translate what was asked for. Well, we're dealing with machines here, so maybe such terms don't apply. But we do have specific clips where such human logic terms may. Nevertheless, the AI produced some pretty frustrating moments, because sometimes very complex requests went over quite well and quite quickly. But then, for reasons mentioned, other scenes that were anticipated to be simple ended up needing 15 to 25 prompts that even then never quite met expectations. Our purpose here isn't to prove how poorly the AI did, overall, but that the entire process was one of negotiation, almost, till we got what we wanted. For illustrations, we'll be using actual scenes from our recent feature films, The Hag of Beecroft and The Rewilders.
Let's begin. And remember, at any time you can press spacebar to pause or restart the video.
In scene 10, Lily removes her dentures and then lies down. When she yawns, she should be toothless, but it seemed impossible to make AI understand a character could have no teeth. In scene 19, we're looking through the peephole in Sam's door as Bethany knocks. We tried our best, like a dozen prompts, to have her knock on the wooden part of the door. While it's rather comical how it came out, and we used it as the final take, AI refused to do anything but have her knock on the peephole instead of the door. In scenes 24 and 26, little Bethany has the unfortunate compulsion to walk out into busy road traffic. We understand that AI would have difficulty in generating anything that involves danger around children. But in these cases, we think it's a matter of why would she do this? Rather than moderate or censor the request, the AI just makes a mess of it, with cars going in multiple directions and so on.
Beth, hasn't anybody ever told you to look both ways? You're gonna get killed, girl!
In scene 36, classmates tease Davy and Sam by throwing things at them, an elastic band and a rolled-up ball of paper. Despite numerous efforts, we couldn't get the AI to do one or the other, resulting in this strange-looking sequence.
Parlando alcuni è meglio che non essere in grado di parlare a tutti.
AI has lots of trouble with scenes with multiple characters with speaking lines, no matter how carefully you distinguish each speaking part. In scene 50, 3 adults stand side by side, another adult stands off to the side, and the 2 kids play a game down on the floor. All 6 characters have speaking parts. The only way to do it was an establishing shot of the room, showing all 6 characters, followed by individual clips of each as they spoke. This wasn't a real problem, as that's the way such a scene would be handled in traditional film editing anyway. Here's the final sequence.
So it was what time when you heard the commotion?
Well, I got home from work around 6. So this was 2 hours later? And that was on the 3rd floor, you said?
That's where the damage was. But we found their cigarette butts in the stairwells at several floors.
We should check out the lockers in the basement.
The lockers?
That's where we found the shoes. Shoes, aren't the lockers padlocked, Ron?
Always. I guess. What are they going to do, lock themselves in a locker?
Sixes, the pot!
Ugh. In scene 57, a bully tosses an empty pop tin from his car and bonks poor Sam on the noggin.
What the ha?
This took several tries, and it never came out quite right. It's like the AI was thinking, why would anyone do this? As well, in the final film clip, we had to speed up the tin can hitting Sam on the head, because AI brought it in with its nefarious slow motion. In scene 64, a grown-up bully roughs up poor little Sam, and in her friend's defense, little Bethany bites the man's hand. Quite simply, artificial intelligence was having none of this biting business. It didn't matter how many tries we made. Finally, we prompted Bethany to rest her mouth on the man's hand, and visually it works fine, as you see here. But AI wasn't finished with the scene. After Bethany mutters, "He tasted real good," the AI added an unsolicited dialogue from the store owner. What does that mean? So funny. AI refused to do scene 105 as we'd hoped, and it continually censored or moderated our prompts to have the girl, Georgia, throw herself down the stairs to escape Lily. AI rejected it on the rule for danger to children, or asking it to depict an incomprehensible action. Take your pick. We had to settle for the girl sliding down the stairs on her knees. Scene 142 surprised us, as the AI simply refused to show a fingernail on top of one of Lily's baked muffins. Maybe there's an anti-dismemberment rule or something. We had to settle on something that looks anything like a human fingernail, but it looks yucky nonetheless. In scene 148, AI's push for logic conflicted with the storytelling. Here, we're in old Lily's room, she's in bed behind a curtain, and little Sam enters the room looking for little Bethany. At first, the shadow behind the curtain flowed from the fact that it was Lily's silhouette against a bright window, and Sam talks to her through the curtain.
Bethany?
What you want, boy?
Miss Lily? We met before, remember?
Unfortunately, the AI deemed to think that the shadow behind the curtain was actually little Sam's shadow on the front of the curtain. The shot barely works, and not as we'd hoped. Scene 149 has a big moment where Bethany kisses Sam on the cheek and hugs him, but AI simply refused to allow the kiss. We had to settle for a nice hug, but we were disappointed since in scene 68 we'd managed to get the kids to do a really cute first-time kiss.
My first kiss. Mine too. What'd you think?
We sometimes wonder if more flexible artificial intelligence moderators were working that day to let us get away with that one. By the time we did our second feature film, The Rewilders, we'd learned a lot. We had fewer sensorial moderation events, but there were still intermittent problems. For instance, in crowd scenes, AI might add duplicate characters. Here's a scene with plainly multiple copies of the same character.
Give me that warm coat for my wife!
The clip was otherwise very suitable, so to get around it we had to zoom in on the clip in the video editor, as shown here.
Give me that warm coat for my wife!
Also later in this scene, we tried really hard to get Charlie to hand Rachel's glasses to her, such that as she put them on his face, would come into clear focus. We tried a dozen or more prompt variations before conceding defeat, as you see here. And then there was the Scrabble scene. We were prepared for a challenge on this one, after the trouble we'd had with a wall calendar. AI seems to have trouble with these sorts of things. Evie and Harry play Scrabble in scene 70, and the AI had two problems. One, the words on the board made by the tiles weren't words at all. It was difficult to get each player's tile holders to face each player so that the opponent couldn't see them. It took many, many tries. In the big rewilding scene, number 73, the cheetah that's released is way too slow moving. The script made a big deal of this being the world's fastest animal. To fix this, we had to speed up the action 300 to 400% in the video editing stage. Lastly, here is an outtake that didn't make it into the final cut. We didn't retain the strangest or funniest of these, but some are still quite amusing. From the Rewilders, the escaped Rhinoceros was supposed to rip the door off of the vehicle. Here's the scene we used. Well, the outtake is full of action, but there are a few physics-defying issues. The truck morphs and the animal dissolves right through the door. And another outtake. In this next scene, a missile explodes outside the McGilvrays' home. Here's the scene we used. But in an initial prompt effort, the television itself exploded. It was pretty funny, but it wasn't what we asked for. We were looking forward to generating the scene when Evie confronted the lion at her window. Here's the scene.
Oh, go away.
It took a few takes to get there. Here's one of the outtakes. We don't know what's going on with poor Harry, sitting on the couch, but Evie's encounter at the window was good.
Oh, go away.
Oh, how about one from the Hag of Beecroft? Here's a scene when Bethany was bullied by bigger girls and Sam tries to help her.
He gonna take you to the Halloween dance? At least you won't need a mask.
The outtake didn't go as we wanted because at first Bethany is smiling. But then look at the tears. Who said AI can't act?
He gonna take you to the Halloween dance? At least you won't need a mask.
In summary, what we came away with was that big action scenes or complex camera shots often came easily, but scenes with a few people could often pose the greatest challenges due to choreographing the characters' actions and dialogues properly. And achieving proper comic timing of dialogue was always a problem. Such is the world of artificial intelligence prompting in these early days, though it should be said that things are getting better. Even just the past 12 months have seen major improvements in AI interpretation and the output quality of AI generation.
Thanks for watching. And remember, all titles are available for purchase on Amazon or Kobo.